Romshinators, thank you so much for joining me once again here on Romshii Radio. Yes. Woo-hoo! Yeah. I'm fired up. We have an article here from earth.com, Nature, Science, Life. Very wholesome website, very wholesome article. You can see here the picture of these beautiful robots. I can't tell whether this is a real image or whether it's AI. Let's take a closer look. AI is getting so good, it's hard to honestly tell. I don't know. These could be real robots. We don't know. Surreal humanoid robots are set to begin border patrol duties between China and Vietnam. By Raquel Brando, Earth.com staff writer. Raquel, thank you for this article. Yes. China is about to send humanoid robots to work at a busy border with Vietnam. Ubtech Robotics has won a $37 million contract. That doesn't seem like a lot. That doesn't seem like a lot when it comes to like robot future. That seems like that's... How much does a robot cost? A robot, in my mind, a robot like this probably costs $1 million. So envisioning 37 robots at most. So this is not huge. If it said 37 billion, I'd be like, okay. And this is China here. So they have 37 billion to spend. I was worried. Now I'm not so worried. To deploy its Walker S2 machines. They're starting this month. They're called Walkers. That's terrible. That sounds like something out of one of those zombie movies. You ever see those memes where it's like they can't call a zombie, so they keep calling it something else? It's a walker. I see some walkers over there. I see someone. Get them! That's the sound a gun makes when you need to drink water. Yes. Its engineers focus on embodied intelligence, which is artificial intelligence that controls a physical robot body. So these machines can handle messy real-world environments. Like the border's so messy. Are they sending them into swamps? That's not gonna work. The mud's gonna get in their little joints and they're gonna be all messed up day one. Then you're gonna have to spend 37 more million repairing them. Just pay a guy. Why is there this obsession with replacing human beings? Border Patrol is a good job. You stand there, you make sure no one crosses. If they cross, you pull out the machine gun and you blast them. Honest day's work. Maybe now that I say that, maybe it should be robots, you know? I can't pronounce this. Fangchengang is a coastal city in Guangxi near the border with Vietnam where cargo trucks, coaches, and day travelers constantly cycle through. Okay. Chinese planners see a border crossing as a tough real-world test because the schedules are tight and inspections cannot easily stop. If these robots perform reliably there, it will be easier to argue for similar deployments at airports, seaports, and crowded train stations. If I go to the train station and I see a robot there, ready to kill, locking its beady eyes on me, I am going to walk. I don't care how far it is. I'm just not going. I'm just not going because robots freak the shit out of me. They're going to scare all of us. Right now, we aren't used to seeing a robot. We see them in television, movies, TVs. We see them in these articles and we think, oh yeah. But when you see one and you see its bionic arm just there being like, that arm could crush me. That thing has no conscience. That thing has no ability to actually reason. It's powered by ChatGPT, which told me last night that I was the smartest man in the world because I trolled it for 20 minutes. And that's what's powering these robots that now have physical arms that can crush my head like a vice. We're not used to seeing that. If I go to the train station and I see that, I'm leaving. If I see a cop, I get freaked out. I'm like, that guy has a gun and is on steroids and has the haircut of a G.I. Joe from 30 years ago with a fade going up the side. I leave usually. I'm not a criminal. I've never done anything illegal in my life. Yet cops freak the shit out of me because they're always on steroids and look like they got their haircut 5 seconds ago and oh hey, they have a gun. They have a murder weapon at all times. So, and plainly exposed, rather. They're not really subtle about it either. And they always kind of walk around, they're holding their chest, and they never really look you in the eye. You know, cops are starting to sound pretty good. If I start to see Robocops everywhere, I'm moving to the country. I'm moving to the middle of nowhere, and I'm going to sell potatoes on the side of the road. And I'm not even going to grow them. Because I have no skills, because I've been in the city for so long. So I'm going to have to be stealing potatoes from real farmers, selling them. It's going to be, I don't want to think about what's going to happen, and this is almost a certainty too. Walker S2 is an adult-sized humanoid machine with jointed legs, a torso, and arms designed to move wherever people already walk. What kind of a sentence is that? I'm sorry to the writer. I'm not a writer. I'm talking out of turn. To stay balanced and avoid collisions, the robot combines cameras, depth sensors, and force feed. I don't need to know this stuff. Just tell me it's a horrifying robot. Don't butter me up.
Bam.
You know, this robot's actually really smart. It won't collide with you. If it's walking down the path, it will move. Shut up. This thing's going to be armed. You know that it's going to be like a little cap. There's going to be a cap on their finger. There's going to be a cap on their finger. It's going to pull off, and they're going to shoot you with a little finger gun. If you think the wrong thing. If you steal the if you get on the train without paying, and a robot has to decide your fate, but will it know if you're hiding in the bathroom? That's the thing. As I've said, I've never done anything illegal, but if someone does steal the train, usually the trick is when the guy comes on, you hide in the bathroom and pretend you're taking a disgusting shit. Will the robot be able to wait outside the bathroom? Will it be able to tell? I don't know. That's going to be huge. That's going to be huge for the train situation. I'm messing up my pedals here. The Fangshen Gang project will help border staff guide passenger queues, direct vehicles, and answer simple questions from travelers. Some robots will patrol corridors and waiting areas, watching for blocked exits or crowd patterns that might require human officers to intervene. Wait! What? Wait, watching for blocked exits or crowd patterns? So, they're watching for crowd patterns. What? I don't think we need to read any more of this article, Romshinators. I think we know where this is going, and honestly, there's some jobs that could maybe be done by robots. And I'm not anti-human. I'm just saying I've worked in a factory. I've worked in a vinyl record factory where my job was just to put records in sleeves. I got a repetitive stress injury working there part-time 3 days a week. I was in physio for months. It was insane. And they wanted me there full-time. And they were like, yeah, you're a really good worker. I'm like, I'm putting records in sleeves. I'm doing the exact same motion nonstop for 8 hours a day. There's only so many podcasts you can listen to. And most of them are terrible. I'm sorry to say that. I don't want to say, I know I sound like I'm talking shit about other people who talk into the microphone. They don't have the pedal board like I do. They don't have the charisma like I do. They don't have the cool glasses like I do. They don't have the Romshinator army like I do. This is a totally different thing. This is a lifestyle. This is a connection that you and me have. It's not parasocial. It's something totally different. This is Romshinator to Romshi connection. This is a spiritual thing. When I go to sleep at night, I astral project and visit every Romshinator and bestow blessings upon you in your life. And if something bad happens to you, it's because I couldn't get there in time because there was astral traffic. But if it's up to me, I'm always there and I'm preventing everything. That's the difference. But what I realized working that factory job is that most podcasts were terrible. I was trying to listen to them and I was like, these guys have a Patreon. They have a Patreon, and I could not understand how someone could do this job for years on end. And when I was working there was people who had been there for quite a while. I'm just sitting there putting records in sleeves over and over, and I was like, they gotta get a robot for this. But I was also lucky to have a job, so it's really, I just wish that maybe the AI would take over jobs like that so that we didn't get stress injuries in our shoulders and our hands. And maybe it can stop making art and writing and making CGI animations and making slop and weird propaganda videos. Maybe it could stop that. You would think that a society that cared about itself and cared about the future of humanity would focus on that. Robots taking over dangerous jobs. Maybe that's what this is, the Border Patrol thing. But at the same time, then what happens to all the people who are supposed to do Border Patrol? We need some sort of solution here. We can't just have a rollout of robots that are terrifying. Romshinators, thank you for listening. Please let me know down below how many Border Patrol robots you are going to have in your town. Let me know how many robots you want to see on a daily basis down below. You know, we're going to have to get used to it. We're going to have to get used to it. I don't have all the answers. I want you to be able to work in a factory, putting records in sleeves, and make enough money to live a comfortable life and retire and own a house and have a car and go on vacations. That's my stance. That's what I want. You get what I mean. We're on the same page. I don't have to over-explain it to you, Romshinators. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one. See you later.